touch all your seatbelts, touch all your connections, touch your Hans. Just make sure you get everything like you want it.
Well, greetings, Sigma race fans. We come at you live here tonight for the USATrucks West Division. Tonight here at Phoenix for 150 laps, 150 miles the distance, and we're getting ready to go here. Starting on the front row, you're going to have Barry Yearwall and Osiel Escobar. Tonight truly is kind of the start of the real racing season as the wild card races are behind us, at least for now. Next row back, you've got David Dixon and the very hot and consistent Campbell Marsh as of lately. The double down in the Bridge to Cup Series, winning back-to-back races. So let's see if he does well in the trucks here tonight. Next row, you've got Borat Sagdiev and your points leader, Donovan Heist, who got the race win at Armory Digital Super Speedway. Spinham Walker and Paul Ladino, followed by Walker Bacon and Billy Lovejoy. Kat Durham and Jack Davis, followed by Santi Messi and Shy Turtle. Matt Yard and Chasey Plays with Rich Roy and Miko Kunez. Next row back, you've got Kyler Sestre and Jamie McMurphy. Luis Rodriguez and Lucas Holmes. Jakov Rosevich with Gabe McDuffie and the Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks scheme. Matthew Huber and Noah Hobson, followed by Mark Walker and Casey Nonico. Jason So and Chris Jeremio. Taylor Cording and the 86 of Paul Tabarini. Jonathan Sheridan and Davian West. Bailey Parker and Jimmy West. John Brinker, Zach Magoon, and Roach rounding out the field. Two Wests in the field, not related. It is kind of crazy that in the West Division we've got two Wests racing in the series, so.
Start your engines!
Gonna get ready here. Pole position for your wall there. Having a good start to the season. Barry Yearwall in the number 20 taking over for the championship winning truck from 2025. This was the truck that Trevor Vaden piloted to a championship, so keeping it alive here with some good runs and good starts to start here in 2026. Barry Yearwall, with the last race, he ended up with the top 10, so maybe he'll try to back it up here tonight with another top 10. Green flag waves, and we're off and rolling here tonight from Phoenix. As already mentioned, 150 laps is the distance, of course. So off to the early lead, it's Osiel Escobar, who has set the fastest lap here. Our ticker is all goofed up. New track for the season, and we're already having some technical gremlins. Osiel leads the way. Next in line, it is Campbell Marsh. And third place, Barry Yearwall. Points leader in Donovan Heist running in fourth with his teammate David Dixon right behind him. I apologize, folks. I'm trying to, on the fly here, fix the ticker down below. Should be an easy fix, but it's going to be tedious, and it pauses the race. So, I know what I'll do. We'll pause the race so you don't miss any of the racing action, and just give me a brief moment here to actually get things settled in here. So as you can see, properties. You guys will watch as I put together the entire overlay here. Okay, so that one is all sorted. And we just need Pardon the technical difficulties, folks. We're getting it all sorted out here and should be golden here in about another 5 minutes. Okay, and then the one final adjustment. There should be our laps right there. There we go. That might be a little bit obnoxiously large there, but we'll make it work. Okay, folks. Sorry for the technical difficulties there. We're back racing, and with everything else up on the ticker like it should be. So we only missed really 6 laps of the racing action with the fidgeting there. Osiel Escobar has not yet won here in Sigma Racing. Been a perennial contender year in, year out, the number 65. Hometown is Mexico. Definitely would be a huge win here in the Sigma Series to have Osiel Escobar pull it off here. Yep, from El Palm, Sonora, Mexico. Osiel Escobar has been at it for about 3 years now in the Sigma Racing Series. We've got a move being made here for second as Bear Yearwall right there alongside the very hot and very fast number 8. Campbell Marsh could do some very unique things this year if he's able to win in Bridge to Cup, if he's able to start winning in trucks this year. He was not able to succeed in winning in the ARCA Series last year, but who knows if maybe something lines up and he gets in an ARCA ride with Al Bunch Incorporated for a couple select starts. He could actually add that win to his title as well. But the way it sounds is that Al Bunch Incorporated is definitely leaning in on trying to get him some more seat time with a Cup car this year. They were impressed by his showing in the Bridge to Cup Double Down, winning the first 2 races of the Bridge to Cup season, that they've already kind of had talks about putting him into a Cup car, an Al Bunch Incorporated Cup car, for some select races here in 2026. So that's a big move from being winless in ARCA, getting the call up for Bridge to Cup, and and then all of a sudden you're winning left and right in Bridge to Cup. Having a good showing here in the truck so far. Let us kind of do a through the field here as things are kind of settling in here at the moment. Obviously the number 20 of Barrier Wall running in third. Points leader Donovan Heist, with David Dixon, his teammate, right behind him. Paul Ladino, Borat Sagdiev, Jack Davis, Kat Durham, and Billy Lovejoy, your top 10. We'll try to keep an eye up front too and see. I don't see the lead materializing yet for Campbell Marsh, but here's Chasey Plays, Miko Kunez, Shy Turtle, teammate to Campbell Marsh. Walker Bacon in the top 15 right now. Spinham Walker, Kyler Sustre, Matt Yard, Rich Roy, Jamie McMurphy. And then it's the 18 of Noah Hobson with the 48 of Luis Rodriguez. Lucas Holmes, Casey Nanako, Santi Messi, Jakov Rosevich, Matthew Hubert, Gabe McDuffie deep in the field here, Jason So, Paul Tabarini, Chris Jeremio, Mark Walker, 3 wide for about 30th place, Jimmy West, Bailey Parker, and Taylor Cording, Davian West. Oh, they're going to try to wreck there for 3 wide for 30th. It's a little out of comfort zone there, but they keep rolling. Zach Magoon, Roach, John Brinker, and Jonathan Sheridan rounding out the field. Putting together quite the clinic here so far. Asiel Escobar leading a bunch of laps here, 20 laps in, all of which he has led, had full control here tonight. Number 65 machine. Not a whole lot of drama so far in this one. Kind of a follow the leader affair at the moment. 150 laps, though, you're definitely going to see some strategies unfold, some pit stops perhaps. There is a swap for position there, though. Paul Ladino gets up to 5th, getting around the 45 of Dixon. Donovan Heist still holding on to 4th there. Barry Yearwall in 3rd. Trying to dial up our statistician to figure out what Asiel Escobar has done in past truck races. I don't think he's ever led 20 laps in a single race, so it's going to be interesting to see what the Sigma metrics tell us here on how many laps, what is the largest lap count that he's had leading the race in Sigma USA trucks. Because right here all alone, 25 laps led, I think that's going to be a record for him. No cautions tonight. 25 laps in now, 125 laps to go. And we'll go ahead and dial up the ARCA race after tonight's truck race. So doubleheader on tap, as I did not have the free time to get things sorted out last night. Barry Irwall closing the gap on the number 8 of Marsh here. He's going to go low. Is he going to try to make the move? Side by side through the turn. Not quite. He's got to lay back and let the other run come from. Yeah, Sigma metrics are definitely doing some crunching here, trying to figure it all out. This race for second is very, very heated as the 20 keeps looking high, keeps looking low, not able to make the move yet. Meanwhile, the rest of the field behind them getting a little bit tighter here. As Palladino wanting to knock off another spot here, continuing to go at the drivers ahead of him here. Good run on the 94. And that's your points leader right ahead of him there. Wow, actually may be the case that Osiel Escobar's never led a lap in his career until tonight. That kind of surprises me, honestly. It led one lap. One lap led at Armory Digital Super Speedway. Regardless, it is a big shocker here tonight, seeing Osiel Escobar up front leading all these laps, breaking every record that he's had up to tonight. This is a dominant performance. He did show up last year at the end of the year and put together a solid campaign for the Music Fest Grand Prix in the Cup Series. That alone stands as one of his best runs in Sigma history. as he had a great car, competitive, and potential to win. Unfortunately, mechanical failure stole it away from him before he could get to the end of it. But yeah, back then, he was up front, holding the steady wheel. He even led 2 laps in the Music Fest Grand Prix at Nashville last year. Had a piston failure with a great top 10 run up until the point that he had a mechanical failure steal it away from him. So I think Osceola definitely up in his game and trying to get better week in and week out. He's driving away from the rest of these guys sitting second and third. And at the moment, Campbell Marsh still holding on to second, but barely. Donovan Heist fourth, Palladino fifth. David Dixon and Cat Durham now up into the top 7. Jack Davis, Chasey Plays, and Borat Sagdiev. This is almost unfair domination right here. That OXO 65 Toyota putting on a clinic so far. Prior to tonight, his only career 5 laps led. That was his whole career in the USA Trucks. 5 laps across what has pretty much been about a 3-year spread of his career. And pretty much it was 2 laps led at Daytona, 2 laps led at Bermuda Triangle, USA Trucks Winter, and the USA Trucks West at Armory Digital. So those were all super speedway races, which you're almost guaranteed everyone's going to lead a lap there. So those were almost like null and void. He had not yet led a lap under a a speedster style track, a track that requires skill and precision, just like Phoenix here tonight. So we're starting to see the new cast of characters for 2026, and Osceola Escobar off to a stellar start. And Campbell Marsh, I am shocked where in the world he came from, because he had a decent, not a great, but he had a decent ARCA campaign, and all of a sudden now he's got the speed to win. I think that just goes to show you, signing up with Al Bunch Incorporated was a game changer for this young driver. Another move for position, now up to 4th, Palladino, and up to 5th, Cat Durham. So Cat Durham has also had kind of the same luck as Osceola Escobar. We'll go ahead and crunch up some more numbers here and see. For Cat Durham, I know that these numbers are going to be kind of shocking too for a driver that struggled in the USA Truck Series, but here he is right now running top 5. I don't think he's ever had a top 5 finish to his name. I could be mistaken. Of course, that'll take a little bit as the metrics do their thing. Wow, what a big lead Osceola's getting out front here. That 65 is cruising up at front. Lap traffic not likely to be a factor for quite some time, but the way he's running, he'll probably start putting people laps down here tonight. Roach at the tail end of the field. Jonathan Sheridan struggling in that number 29. And then you have Zach Magoon, John Brinker, and Davian West, a rookie. Young talent that has been struggling a little bit, but Gabe McDuffie unfortunately has had a very slow start to the season. We can go ahead and look at the trucks' points as they sit. And the 03 of Gabe McDuffie mid-pack, 18th in the points. Running 30th here tonight is going to sink him a little deeper in the point standings, unfortunately. Noah Hobson, LFG Motorsports, running in 20th. Some of the new blood, Walker Bacon in 17th, alongside Matt Yard just ahead of him. Those are brand new rookies this year in the USA Trucks West Division. Borat Sagdiev makes the jump over to the 07 Holden for Jonah Burridge's team. The lone Holden truck out there. It's going to be interesting to see what the Holden has in store for the whole field. And we've got the lone Holden and the lone Volkswagen in the USA Trucks West Division. So maybe mano a mano battle between the two foreign manufacturers here in the trucks. Currently Holden has the better start to the season because Borat Sagdiev actually had a top 15 finish at Armory, so finished 15th. Yet again running 14th here tonight. That is exactly what Jonah Burridge knew he was getting. We saw the consistency out of Mr. Borat Sagdiev last year, and very, very competitive to the lines where he was almost winning a race last year. Well, him and his buddy Shy Turtle are definitely going to have a good season here in the USA Trucks West. Shy Turtle just a couple spots ahead, flying the Al Bunch Incorporated truck. Definitely some very fast trucks rolling out of that ABI garage stall. Well, Donovan Heist has fallen back to 7th now as Jack Davis has moved up to 6th. Cat Durham in 5th. Pauladino in 4th. Barry Yerwall 3rd still. But look who has closed that gap. Campbell Marsh closing in on Asiel Escobar. 95 laps to go. Campbell Marsh with the fastest lap here so far. So we're going to keep our eyes on the front two as this is getting tighter. Crazy that we were already bragging about the double downs that we've seen this season so far. If we get another driver that just keeps going back-to-backs, you know, it's going to be a weird year. If we have like 2 different drivers for every series, it'd be pretty wild, actually. Osceola's doing a hell of a job here, though, holding off the 8 of Campbell Marsh, the storming Campbell Marsh. Well, that lead starting to grow back in the favor of Osceola again. We do see some folks coming down pit road, so there might be about 2 pit stops, 2 or 3 pit stops here tonight. Palladino closing in again as well. So yeah, Cat Durham, his best finish. He has had a top 5. He's had a 4th place. He's had an 8th place, and he's had a couple top 10s. So I kind of take back where I didn't think he had any top 5s. So he's kind of digging in where he's had a couple good runs. That number 22 Trackhouse B Chevrolet, perhaps trying to reach a record high. I think his best overall has been a 4th, so seeking a 3rd or better for that 22 team would be a huge accomplishment here tonight. 87 laps remaining. Maybe the 13 of Miko Kunis pitting was a mechanical failure. 3 laps down for Miko Kunis. Was it an oil leak on the number 13 machine? Kunis, unfortunately, 3 laps down, dead last. 1 mechanical failure here tonight. Has not knocked him out of the race, though, so he's still running. Just having to deal with the repercussions of getting dropped out 3 laps at the moment. Now the battle's starting to brew for 3rd place as Palladino knocking on the door. Palladino still winless in the Sigma Racing Series, seeking that first career win. Kunis laps down here, but trying to get possibly back one of his laps. He's going to go around, or at least try to go around the 20, and then hunt down the lead 2 up front. So yeah, for Cat Durham, his career totals sound something like this. He's had 40 total laps led, races with at least 1 lap led, 6 races he's at least led a lap. Career best finish was a 4th twice. At Iowa Speedway last year, only once actually, my bad, not twice. Dominant laps led was that race, 26 laps led at Iowa. Moses Lake Motorplex 6 laps led, Fontana 5 laps led, Twin Ring Motegi 1 lap led, 1 lap led at the Mars Super Speedway, 1 lap led at Talladega. So mostly Super Speedway laps led, but Iowa kind of similar in a sort of style to Phoenix here. 26 laps led for Cat, and trying to have a good run here at Phoenix kind of makes sense actually. Now Campbell Marsh may be using lap traffic kind of as a bit of a help here. Gets a bit of a draft to catch up to the 65 again. The ebb and the flow of your lead two as they continue to go back and forth with this gap between the lead here. Miko Kunez wants to get his lap back. It's going to be a long day for him, trying to just alleviate the bleeding, try to minimize the losses. Still going to be 2 laps down if he gets around these 2, and potentially would need a caution to get back on the lead lap. Now this could open a door for Campbell Marsh if that 13 gets alongside the 65 and takes the preferred line away from Osiel. So keep an eye on Miko Kunez here. We're starting to close in on halfway here at Phoenix. So one round of pit stops gonna be coming somewhere after the halfway point. And that could make or break your night if you get stuck on a slow pit stop. You could lose a lot of momentum, or you could gain a lot of momentum on someone else. Osiel putting together the perfect run here tonight. He just needs to close it out. Halfway in, halfway to go. Just to show you, Osiel has in fact led every lap, 73 and counting. Making a move up to third. Here you got Paul Adino side by side with Barry Earwall. Also joining the party, Jack Davis and Cat Durham, both of which want to try to pick up a couple extra spots here. Yeah, lap 85 to 90 is a good gauge. I would wager that's probably close. Phoenix being a 1 mile track, if they're going to go about 80 miles on their gas, that'll probably be about the length of it, honestly. Here we go, Paul Adino up to third now. Barry Earwall falls back a spot. Cat Durham on the attack as well, side by side. Down the dog leg they go. Jack Davis right there in the picture. This group getting very, very exciting for third place battle. Your lap truck still having its fair bit of trouble getting around the 65. Osiel Escobar holding the steady wheel up front here. Miko Kunis, they must have got that oil leak patched up pretty quickly as he's back out there running at full pace and fast enough to be fighting with the leader for the lap back that he's lost. One of 3 laps, that is. Of course, coming down pit road meant he probably got fresh tires and he's running a little bit quicker lap times right now than Osceola anyways. But that's to be expected. And Miko Kunis is right there trying to get one of those laps back. Side by side, drag race down the backstretch. That could open the door for the 8 of Campbell Marsh now. Just a little bit of a door opening. Campbell Marsh trying to spice it up, going a couple different lines here. He's staying on the high side. Osceola staying low. Is that going to pay off? It's crazy how these 2 trucks look nearly identical from the backside. Very red, very yellow. The only difference is the white nose on Campbell Marsh very much distinguishes the 2 trucks from each other. Okay, so the pit windows are going to start opening up here as we're at lap 82 to 150. Lap traffic not likely to be a factor for some time still, but pit stops could change a little bit of that, especially green flag pit stops. Teams are going to have to be firing on all cylinders when it comes to those green flag pit stops. You do not want to make a mistake. You don't want to miss your cues. You want to make sure to dial it in and get ready for the last half of the race to seal the deal. Osceola Escobar has been putting on a clinic here tonight, but even a clinic can be knocked down with a bad pit stop. Surprised there's been no cautions here tonight. Everything running smoothly like a well-oiled machine here at Phoenix. Of course, fastest lap does belong to Campbell Marsh, who has been running down the 65 from time to time. And it's going to be Osceola relinquishing the lead here to pit on the undercut. That means Campbell Marsh will get credited with a lead lap here tonight as he stays out 1 lap longer at least. So 86 laps was as far as Osceola wanted to run it. Undercut is typically a good strategy. Once you get in, you come out with fresh tires, run faster laps than, say, the 8 truck who's staying out a 2nd lap past that. Bunch of folks pitting now. This could also open up that window of a danger zone where you have folks pitting, people coming off pit road, trucks that could collide with the slower trucks, faster trucks, trying to merge back together. So we got to wait until this cycles through, but as of right now, 8's going to stay out a little bit longer. Campbell Marsh wanting to stretch this as far as he can. So the true overcut can only be won if you do something like this and stay out a lot longer than the rest of them. Then you can come down pit road, take a quicker gas and go. Obviously, you won't need to gas up for as long. Get those 4 fresh tires and come back out rolling with a little bit less time cut off from your gas and go. So here comes Campbell Marsh now. And that might be Osceola back on pace. He's roughly 1 lap down as it sits. So he gets around the 8 on the racetrack there. 8's going to have the advantage of the 3rd pit stall here. We're going to keep our eyes on the 8 of Campbell Marsh to see where he shakes out from the pit stop. No cautions. We're going to be rolling into lap 90 here without a caution. Campbell Marsh gets a quick 4-tire stop. They're giving it all the gas they can go. And that seems to be a slower pit stop than I anticipated. The 8 of Campbell Marsh struggling here a little bit. Still struggling as trucks that came in after him have already left. The 20 also staying on a little bit longer. Perhaps a bit of a mechanical flaw on the 8, staying on as long as he has here. He's just now rolling out, and that's going to put him right behind the Q of the 65, the 8 ball. So the 65, of course, the undercut, get out there with fresh tires, turn quicker laps. But it's not over, because now the 65's been out there for a couple laps, wearing out the tires. The 8 comes out with the freshest of tires as he stayed out as long as he could there. And he'll have at least a little bit more tires to go to the finish versus the 65. Man, even losing a spot though. Now the 94. Wait, how in the world is Osceola Escobar not leading this race? Wait, has the 94 not pitted? Wow. So the 94 Palladino still has not pitted. Correct. Yeah, so that's what no, pitted on lap 86. Where in the world has everyone fallen a lap down? Bad pit stalls here at Phoenix, apparently. We're going to go ahead and add a lap to everyone that's lapped down, because that is absurd. I do think this must have been a pit road glitch in the game for them to have stalled on pit road as long as they did, and that is no bueno. So perhaps maybe looking towards a different Phoenix track for the rest of the week, because that is not fun. That looks more like it. That should be the way things were running. Just give me a brief chance here. Oh, a flat tire on the 58 of Davian West, unfortunately. But we're under caution. Wow, we're actually under caution. I wonder if this is for a stalled number 58 on track. Let's see. Showed Davian West had a flat tire. And it's a ghost caution. Oh, yeah, sure. It was the 58 coming to a complete stop on the front stretch. Davian West had a flat tire, and that is what brought out the first caution of the night here with about 47 laps to go. Oh, shoot. Man, no wonder. So unfortunately, it's going to be a single file restart, not a double file. Since I forgot to turn that on from the start of the race here tonight. And perhaps could have resolved some of our pit road gremlins that we had there as well, if I had those enabled. But this is definitely shaping up to be an interesting one between Osceola Escobar, Paul Ladino, Campbell Marsh, Cat Durham, and even now Chasey Plays in the mix. There we go. Back and rolling now. Campbell Marsh goes low. The lap traffic 3 wide at the lead there. Your leaders are going to have to work around this lap traffic here. Officials are going to throw a quick caution to get things stacked back up there. Not very happy with the lap traffic in the mix, so go ahead and try this again. So as previously mentioned, of course, tonight has been a record high for Asiel Escobar, as he has led more than 100 laps at this point now. Prior to that, in his whole career, it only led 4 laps in the USA Trucks competition. So tonight, record-breaking night for the 65 team. We got to look at some of the folks still in the mix here tonight with 40 laps to go. You cannot count out the likes of Campbell Marsh, who has been on a stellar tear. Cat Durham showing some strength here in the closing laps, possibly in the mix to try and lead some laps himself. Paul Ladino has been shot out of a cannon here tonight. That number 94 missile has been heading straight up to the front. And so let us also look a little bit further back at the likes of Chasey Plays, Shy Turtle, Spin'em Walker, and don't forget about your points leader, Donovan Heiss, still in the mix here. Jack Davis, a truck winner in his own right. Barry Urwall, front row start, has kind of fallen back here. Walker Bacon in 11. Borat Sagdiev, Billy Lovejoy, David Dixon, and Kyler Sustre. I wouldn't look much further past 15th for the winner here tonight, as it's going to be someone probably in the top 15 getting the job done. Yeah, I don't know about the, I don't know how Rich, oh, I think it's because I added a lap. So when you do a lap add, it kind of screws up the fastest lap. No, that makes it crazy. Rich Roy definitely did not set the fastest lap here tonight. That's a ticker mishap. How did he pass tech inspection? So Rich Roy is in fact the fastest truck here tonight, and that was a 27-second lap, 27.0. Not a 12.17 like that suggests. Here we go, Cat Durham to the lead. Asiel now having to fight from behind. It's been a dominant night from the 65 team, but a little bit of adversity is not going to slow him down. Asiel's going to have a shot. He's going to go high. Cat Durham's going to stay low. Here comes Campbell Marsh in the mix as well, going below the 65. That high line might be the place to be for Asiel Escobar to stay high. The 8's going to stay low. The momentum around the outside might be enough to carry him past the 22 here. Still not going to get the move he needs, but he's closing the gap back up on the back bumper of Cat Durham. As they all fan out past him, back behind by the dog leg there. Shy Turtle now up to 4th. Donovan Heiss moving up to 5th. Your points leader wants to try and keep that points lead for himself. Doesn't want to give up as many points here tonight as he's been running at the back here. But closing in on 35 laps to go now. Shy Turtle, a winner in his own right here in the USA Trucks. I want to say that was at Darlington last year where he got the win in that number 80 for Al Bunch Incorporated. Cat Durham has never won in a USA Trucks race. Asiel Escobar, of course, has never won in a USA Trucks race, nor has Campbell Marsh for that matter. Campbell Marsh did get the Bridge to Cup win a couple days ago at Daytona. And looking solid here tonight, trying to prove that it was no super speedway hoax, but that number 8, the driver behind the number 8, has got the ability and the speed to get the job done no matter what track they throw him at. Starting to feel bad here for Asiel Escobar, not looking like he can get the momentum he needs to get around the 22. It might come down to a bump and run to get this job done. Trackhouse B has prepped that 22 machine. Stout here, and we're getting our third caution of the night. Caution number 3. As it seems like we're not going to be able to get through the rest of this evening on one run. Let's see who's involved in the wreck here. That is the number 4 of Bailey Parker, the 03. Ahead of him there, that is Gabe McDuffie. On it's the 13 of Miko Kunes. Oh, hard hit for the 03. Jamie McMurphy piles in, Paul Tabarini, Davian West, 29 as well with Jonathan Sheridan. Hey, we went all night without any big wrecks, and here we are getting a couple wild ones here past halfway. Tough break there. Gabe McDuffie, I think, gets the worst of it. And they just come storming through with nowhere to go. The track kind of self-cleaning, as they always say. Once you have a couple trucks wrecked on the front ways, it's impossible to get through without collecting each other. Well, we get to stack them up, re-rack them, and run it again. Alrighty, we're gonna get doubled up on the backside here and get back and rolling with 28 laps to go. Pace truck pulls off. Osceola gets the outside line this time. That's where Cat Durham was able to get the big advantage on the restart. They get to the restart zone past turn 3 here. Osceola going to get the better start this time that he failed to get last time. Green flag waves. Cat Durham on the low side. They're going to fan out 4 wide now for 3rd place. How is that going to work? Oh boy, oh boy. Osceola has the run on the outside, and I think it's going to be enough to storm past for the lead. Osceola gets the lead back here with 27 laps to go. Shy Turtle up high, running 3rd, right there getting past his teammate, Campbell Marsh. Spin'em Walker as well, moving up through the field. We're playing on house money right now, folks. The track is getting wild and crazy throughout the field. If we get any more wrecks, it's definitely going to take out some drivers here tonight because they are racing hard. They are racing full of energy, and this could get down to the very end of it. Osceola back up front leading where he has been very comfortable all night. Spin'em Walker in the top 5 there. See, track position is king here at Phoenix. And that is also the statement, you know, with the real life NASCAR Cup Series here. If you get up front, it's kind of hard to lose it. And that is also the fact here for the Sigma Racing Series, as you can see. As it seems that once you get up front, it's kind of set sail and forget about everyone else behind you. Asiel Escobar needed that restart to get him back into a position to take the lead back and try to seal the deal here tonight. We have not seen very many passes for the lead under green flag circumstances. Restarts have been a different scenario altogether. But as you can see here, it's going to come down to these three trucks, I feel like. Maybe even a fourth or a fifth if they can get a little bit closer here. Whoa, look at the run by Shy Turtle. The 80 truck comes storming down low, using the momentum he's carrying down into the second turn here. He's going to slide in behind the 22 though. Man, Cat Durham losing some traction here. The 8 going around the outside. That's going to be Campbell Marsh back up to second here, with just 23 laps to go. Look at Campbell Marsh, holy cow. He's figuring out a different line to run here, folks, as he's closing that gap on the 65, and he wants to try and fight for the win here tonight. Here comes Cat Durham right around the bout. Up on the high side again. He ain't letting this one get away from him. He wants to get back up here and lead the race. Look at the 22 of Cat Durham. It's kind of like, where did they storm that energy from? We saw the 8 starting to mount a charge, and now the 22 trying to mount a charge. All while the 65 leads the race. Asiel just needs to hold on for dear life as they continue to duke it out for second place. Hopefully we can stay caution-free for the last 20 laps here, as this racing is getting exciting in front of the field. Singled out for about your top 5, and they get a little bit spread out through 6th on back there. Kind of doubled up and side by side. Asiel keeps it down low, which is his prerogative, but that high line seems to be a little bit quicker here. And you can see the other guys just trying to flirt with the idea of going around the high side here. Got to kind of figure in the finishing factor for some of these drivers. A few of these drivers might actually have a better rating when it comes to finishing the race. Consistency is also a big factor here, and we're seeing some drivers that are consistently running top 5, top 10 week in, week out right now. But it's all about finishing the race, and it's usually finishing in first that you want that big position end of the race. Campbell Marsh shaking it up, dropping to the low side this time. He'd been staying on the high side. It'd be nice if the two teammates work together here. Cat Durham sole possession of second now, as Campbell Marsh lost the side-by-side draft on the 22. Asiel still defending well. 15 to go. He's going to have just a handful of laps left. For the driver from Mexico, who has had a tough career here in the Sigma Racing Series. finally showing some muscle here tonight. He's going to have to fend off the 22 again. You can see that 22's right there up on his back bumper. This is getting good. This is getting really gritty and really close. Even the 65's got to be sweating a little bit with how close the 22's running on his back bumper. You have lap traffic ahead here. Is that? Oh, that's the 29 of Sheridan. And the 65 starting to kind of stretch it back out again here. It's all going to come down to where he catches his lap truck and how well he gets around it. Ooh, the 22 ended up holding the 8 of Marsh up a little bit there as Marsh lost some traction. They're bunching back up though. Here comes the 22's run. 29's going to stay high and block the outside line. The 22's going to get blocked here. Well, the lap traffic did not play too big of a spoiler on the leader at least. They're going to work their way around the 29 of Sheridan. We'll be down to 11 laps to go. Make your picks, folks. Who you think's going to win the race? It's probably between these three drivers. Asiel Escobar, it's going to be hard to vote against him. 22 of Cat Durham showed some muscle, led some laps there. Campbell Marsh as well, leading some laps here tonight. But only one of them can come out on top. 10 laps to go. Oh, wow, Asiel goes high. That's a bit of a change there, a bit of a risky move on the 65, as we'd seen him keeping it low and keeping the trucks behind him guessing. But it seems like no matter where he goes, he's fast either way. Must be when the tires start wearing out that you change your lines up a little bit, because 65 had that inside line glued. But now he's kind of searching a little bit higher for some more traction. I'm impressed here with Campbell Marsh's strong run. May not go 3 for 3 in the last 3 races he ran, but very close potentially. If he gets by these two and wins, that would be wild. 3 for 3 races that he started first place. But the true storyline of this one would be a first-time winner in the trucks, no matter which way you shake the top 3. Cat Durham's winless in the USATrucks. Campbell Marsh still very much a rookie in all race series that he participates in at the moment, and becoming a Bridge to Cup winner this early in his career before even winning a truck race says a lot about his ability to wheel these machines around. And it's starting to stretch out here a little bit. For Asiel, he's just hoping desperately that there's no more cautions here tonight. Does not want to see any late race cautions force a late race restart or even potential overtime. Two's trying the alternative lines again. 65 goes low. But I don't know if it's going to be enough. The 22 does not seem to have the pace to get around the 65 here tonight. It'd be pretty wild if we have a last lap pass for the win. Doesn't happen very often. Even fewer times does it happen in a track like Phoenix. Keeping it glued in there, though. He's going to have at least one more shot here before the end of the race to try and make something happen. Throw a bit of a Hail Mary. 65 stays way low there. 22 progressively one lane higher. It's Toyota versus Chevy here with just 3 laps left to go. Man, he's right there. Look at 22 of Cat Durham. Is he going to be able to get the momentum on the high side here? Is the 65 going to block the run? Here they come through turns 3 now. Side by side, the 22's got a bit of an edge, but the 65 still has the advantage. Side by side through the dog leg. The 22's got some momentum on the high side. This is what he's been trying. He's been trying to keep it high and roll around the outside. 2 laps to go, and they're going to drag race down the backstretch. The 22 has the lead here. 65 will not let him go very easily, though. This is some edge of your seat racing, folks. 1 more lap to go. White flag waving. Asiel, for his first career win, might come up short here if he can't get back around the 22. Cat Durham, though, has been able to prove that he had the speed, he had the pace, and he had the patience to get through this race, to get back to the top spot. Cat Durham, with the last lap pass, basically to win it, takes home the checkered here tonight in Phoenix. Wow. That in its own, that is a last lap pass for the win. He came to the white flag side by side with the 65. That is an impressive race number 2 on the USATrucks West Division. Cat Durham earned that win here tonight and even shut down the dominant performance from Asiel Escobar. That was a power move at the end of this race. It just goes to show you that sometimes you gotta want it a little bit more. 127 laps led here for Asiel. Nothing to be ashamed about. I mean, you can't even leave here with your head, held too low. It's gonna sting, though. That one is definitely gonna burn because you had the best truck. You were leading the entire race. And then to get passed on the last lap in such a dramatic fashion. He'll be back. He'll be back next race, and he'll be ready to go out there and try to get another win. Asiel just proved that this season is going to be one to keep an eye on him for. Well, how about that, folks? I could not have predicted a last lap pass here at Phoenix. So we got treated to a spectacle in its own, watching a last lap pass for the win here tonight. And we're just getting started. This is only race 1 of 2 here tonight. We will go ahead and get the ARCA race rolling as soon as I can. But kudos to Cat Durham getting the job done here tonight, taking his first career win for the USATrucks West Division. Trackhouse B rolled out a hot rod here tonight in the Truck Series.
Greg, did you have any ignition problems?
I guess you can kind of consider it to be an unsponsored, but with a race like that, Cat Durham should definitely be reeling in all the sponsors for the rest of the year. Great performance here at Phoenix. Cements himself in the USATrucks catalogs of winners. And now no longer a winless driver. We keep adding new drivers to the win column here in the new season, the year of the Biff, the 2026 Sigma racing season. So let's see if we can keep the ball rolling into the ARCA race here tonight. I'm going to end the broadcast, but we'll go ahead and set up the next stream as soon as I can. Thanks again, folks, for tuning in. Keep your eyes peeled. We'll go ahead and have that ARCA race up